You're watching Fox News at 9.
By the end of 2004, nearly 5 million Americans will have undergone laser vision correction surgery, most commonly known as Lasik.
Since the surgery's development a decade ago, the vast majority of people who've had Lasik are thrilled with the outcome. Still, thousands of patients say the procedure has actually made their eyesight worse or even destroyed it. Many are finding they need to repeat the surgery. Their new and improved vision, it turns out, doesn't always last. Mark Saxenmeyer joins us with part one of a special Fox Focus report. Mark.
Nancy and Robin, 6 years ago, I stood right here at this very spot and I presented a report documenting how I personally had just successfully completed LASIK eye surgery. Yet as time has passed, my vision has regressed, and I've now had to return to a surgical center twice for what are called enhancements or retreatments. Essentially, both of my eyes have now been cut open 3 times in order to fix my vision. Each time, those repeat surgeries were successful, but there's no guarantee that I won't have to return yet again. Tonight, we talk with people who say their vision and their lives have been seriously damaged by laser eye surgery, and we look into the potential risks for those who have to be retreated.
All right, Paul, just lie down, head up to the head of the bed.
It's a surgery which enables some people to throw away their glasses and their contacts for good.
Can you find the flashing red light up there for me?
A $2.5 billion a year industry.
Very good. Just keep looking right there.
In just minutes, many walk away seeing clearly and effortlessly.
I can pretty much make out the clock, which I could have never done from this distance.
You wouldn't even know there's a clock on the wall before.
Yeah,
That's right.
A white blob.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
But sometimes there are horror stories.
The scars are visible. There's quite a bit of haze.
Brent Hanson says he can barely see at night.
I became suicidal at that point. I was scared. I was angry.
As a result of her surgery, Berney says she suffers from constant headaches and extremely dry eyes. She can't see contrasting colors and has no depth perception.
When I was driving in the traffic where it was thick bio hair this morning, that's kind of like what I see.
And this man, who asked that we not show his face, fears he'll be out of work if anyone discovers just how bad his eyesight has become after LASIK.
If you're operating heavy equipment for a living, and your employer found out that your vision was impaired, how long do you think you're going to have that job?
Because so many people have now had laser eye surgery in the U.S., surgical industry analysts estimate as many as 250,000 Americans claim to be suffering from some kind of visual complication as a result of it, even when their doctors say they're not.
They still consider me textbook perfect.
After his surgery, Richard Zickefoose can indeed read every line on his ophthalmologist's eye chart. But the problem, he says, is that it looks like this.
You're seeing 20/20, you're excellent. And then I'd ask them, what about my ghosting? What about these other problems I'm having? And they won't address it. They don't have an answer for that. They can't fix it.
When he tried to get his money back, Zickefoose taped a telephone call he had with the director of the center where his surgery was performed.
Richard, there's nothing we can do to satisfy you. That's very much out of line for somebody that's received a perfect outcome. It couldn't be more perfect. It was textbook correct.
That's where she hung up on me.
They unfortunately mismeasured my pupil size.
This man sued an eye clinic in Tucson, Arizona, and in November he won the largest LASIK malpractice lawsuit to date, more than $4 million. Steve Post lost his job as a United Airlines pilot after he says his eye surgery severely reduced his vision in the dark.
The starbursting of lights that were going on the runway made me realize that unfortunately it was going to be a tremendous safety hazard and put myself and my passengers at great risk.
Still, Steve Post's verdict is rare. Lawyers say it's extremely difficult to win a LASIK-related lawsuit because most patients are required to sign lengthy consent forms like this, acknowledging that all kinds of possible side effects can occur as a result of surgery. Each one of these people was treated at a different time, in a different place, by a different surgeon with a different laser. It's sometimes impossible to prove what exactly caused adverse outcomes like theirs. Was it the result of a poor diagnosis, a surgical error, or a malfunctioning machine. Not a single regulatory agency in the U.S. has specific protocols in place to keep track of or account for adverse laser eye surgery outcomes. And as a result,
I've stopped recommending it, and I'm not shy about saying that.
This Northwest suburban optometrist says he used to refer his patients on to ophthalmologists for LASIK surgery. But after treating too many with post-operative outcomes like Brent Hanson, no more.
We know that the negative outcomes are usually always permanent, but even the good ones, which you would want permanent, aren't showing themselves to be that way in many cases.
Keep staring right at that green light.
In the fall of 1998, I had laser eye surgery through the Kirk Eye Center in West Suburban River Forest. Dr. Kent Kirk performed the surgery.
It's clear, but it's not perfect.
Since then, I've had to return for what doctors call enhancements or retreatments because my new and improved vision ended up being only temporary.
It's just that everybody heals differently and everybody responds to the laser a little differently.
Dr. Kirk says I'm in the minority.
We're at about the 95% range of people not needing to come back, but 5% do.
Like me, all three of these patients of Dr. Kirk also fall into his 5% retreatment estimate.
My eye just started changing.
I noticed my night vision was getting a little blurry.
In the back of your mind, I think there's a concern.
A concern because these retreatments require reopening an outer layer of the cornea and additional bursts of laser energy upon the eyeballs.
Every time that you lift up that flap, you're opening up a closed system and again risking problems.
Problems like those of Brent, Barbara, Steve, Richard, and this man. These three people, though, as well as myself, have avoided problems. Our repeat surgeries have been a success.
Now I'm 20/20. Definitely the best I've ever been.
You know, I haven't had any problems since.
I got spoiled not wearing glasses or contacts, and I wouldn't want to go back to them.
What I tell people is I will continue to do what's necessary to correct their vision as long as it's safe.
Still, there hasn't been a single study of the long-term effects of laser vision retreatment correction. And Dr. Kirk admits,
obviously, for the patient and also for the doctor, you want to go back as few times as possible.
Brent Hanson hasn't been treated by Dr. Kirk, but he has sought out at least half a dozen other surgeons in search of help.
Well, I was stupid enough to believe that more surgeries are going to fix the problem.
For Hanson and many other laser eye surgery victims, retreatments and enhancements have not helped. They've seen dozens of specialists who have told them there is little they can do.
There is nothing that can repair my vision.
Once they cut you, you're done. I mean, you can't ever go back.
Whether or not the majority of surgeries may indeed turn out well, for those who have suffered, that simply doesn't matter.
All I want is my eyes fixed. Understand that. That's all I want. Please fix my eyes.
Tomorrow night, in part 2 of this special Fox Focus report, we uncover new details about one of the most prominent lasers currently being used in laser vision correction surgery today. In fact, it can be found in at least 20 Chicago area clinics. Could it be causing adverse outcomes like ghosting, halos, and double vision? And how many people treated with it are forced to return for more surgery? It's a story that many in the laser eye surgery industry don't want you to see. That's tomorrow at 9 exclusively on Fox.